Hello class 10, I am here with another video lesson on the topic excretory system in humans. So to understand this process of excretion, let us first answer these four simple questions, that is what, where, why and how, right? So these four questions we will analyze one by one. First, what? So what is excretory system? So excretory system, it is a process of removal of waste material that is produced in our body with the help of various organ and its associated parts. That includes kidney, a pair of kidney which are located in the other side of our abdominal cavity, then a pair of ureter, urinary bladder and urethra. And the next question, that is where does excretion occurs? So excretion occurs in the form of urine by the excretory system, where the blood is filtered inside the kidney with the help of various filtrating units which are known as Nephron. So in the right side of the board you can see the picture of a nephron, which are actually the filtrating unit or which are the actual functional unit of excretion, right? So then moving forward, our next question, that is why excretory system. So excretory system, as I already said, this is the process to remove the waste material that is produced in our body. So these waste material, these are fatal or these are highly toxic in nature, which needs to be removed out of the body time to time, as because during the various activities or during the various processes that takes place in a living body, it also produces various substances which are toxic in nature, say for example urea. So this needs to be removed out of the body. So that is why the blood needs to be filtered time to time with the help of this excretory system, right? So so this is about the excretory system, what, where and why. So what is the excretory system? It is the removal of the waste material produced in the body. Where does it occur? It occurs inside the kidney with the help of its functional unit, that is in the nephron. The blood gets filtered and the waste material, that is the urea, is removed from the body in the form of urine. Then why excretion is needed? Because the substances that are removed are highly toxic to the body, which can be fatal. So we need an efficient and regular filtration of blood. So next question is how does excretion occurs, right? So to understand this, let me explain from the beginning, that is the various organs and parts that are involved in excretion. So as you see in this diagram, this is the diagram of human excretory system, having a pair of kidney which I said are located in either side of our abdominal cavity, and this has got the supply of blood. You can see here the arteries, the renal artery and the renal vein. So this is one is the renal vein, the renal artery. Renal artery which is in red color here, the renal artery brings the impure blood and the renal vein takes away the filtered blood or the clean blood. So in this way, in both the kidneys, it is not that in one side of the kidney the pure blood will be filtered, other side will stop. So it will be supplied with the blood simultaneously. So inside the kidney we have millions of filtrating units which are called nephrons, which you can see in the right side of this board. And this nephron is actually a network of tubules which are further divided into various parts. So to understand it, let us see here what are the various parts that are present in a nephron. The first important part is the Bowman's capsule. So this Bowman's capsule is a cup-shaped structure which contains the glomerulus, and the renal artery brings the impure blood, and inside the Bowman's capsule the glomerulus filters it, and the filtration is so fine that it almost filters all the components of blood except for the formed elements. It also filters some of the important substances like the proteins, amino acids, sodium chloride, water, etc. So as a result, these other important components are reabsorbed in the other part of the nephron. That is the first part right after the Bowman's capsule, the tubule, which is called the proximal convoluted tubule. Then the next a loop-like structure, which is called the Henle's loop, and the distal convoluted tubule, and then the collecting duct. So the tube which is in black color in this diagram, so this is the tube which is going to collect the urine, where the urine formation will occur in this tube, right? So after the substances that are filtered, so it almost filters everything that is in the blood, including the urea. So the important elements such as the amino acid, you can say amino acid or water, are reabsorbed in the later part of the tubule, that is in the Henle's loop. So in this way, the artery I am showing with different red and blue color. So this in this red color and this side the blue color, the blood will get filtered, and in this part the amount of water and amino acid will be reabsorbed. Not only amino acid and water, some other substances like the potassium ions, sodium chloride, etc. also will be reabsorbed. So in this way, the amount of urine produced during the process of excretion, it depends on the amount of waste and also the amount of water present in the blood. So accordingly, the concentration of the urine will be determined. That is why you may have observed that during the morning hours, as soon as you get up, the urine is more concentrated. It is more yellow in color, whereas during the later part of the day, that is during afternoon or in the evening, the color of the urine becomes lighter and it's less concentrated. So this concentration of urine is maintained, or it is determined by the amount of urea or the amount of waste and also the amount of water present in the blood. So in this way, finally in the collecting duct, finally the urine will be collected. So inside this kidney there will be millions of nephron. Each of the nephron will have the collecting duct, and it will collect and it will drain out through this. It will be drained out through the ureter and finally be stored in the urinary bladder. So in the urinary bladder, the urine will be collected and it will be stored, right? So it will be stored, and when the urge for urination will come, so it will be released from the urethra or the urethral opening. So the release of urine from the urethra is controlled by the central nervous system with the help of the urinary bladder. There will be, it will regulate and it will send the signal to the brain for the release of the urine when it will be full. So in this way, urine will be produced and it will be stored, because every collecting duct will bring the urine through the through the ureter to the urinary bladder. So finally, after the blood gets filtered, so it will pass down from this Henle's loop, and this renal vein will carry, or it will bring back the pure blood to the heart, and heart will supply it to various parts of the body, including various organs, tissues and cells. So in this way the excretory system works, and this is how the blood is filtered inside the kidney with the help of its functional unit, which is called the nephron. And the nephron are the functional unit, which are the network of tubules and has a various part, and the blood gets filtered inside the Bowman's capsule in the glomerulus. That is why it is also known as glomerular filtration, and it filters so fine that some important components also gets filtered, or they are also filtered along the waste material, but which are later reabsorbed in the later part of the tubule, right? So in this way the waste is released in the form of urine, and finally it will be released through the urethral opening. Whenever the urge for urination comes, it will be released out, and this is regulated and controlled by our central nervous system. So this was about our excretory system. So apart from this, as we know that as you know about the process called dialysis, right? So dialysis is an artificial means by which blood can be filtered artificially when the kidney will not perform nicely, or if there is some deformity or some disorder in the functioning of the kidney, then the blood can be filtered by its artificial means with the help of the process called dialysis, or it is also known as hemodialysis, right? So let me explain you the process with the help of this simple diagram, how dialysis works. So in the process of dialysis, there is a dialyzing chamber, right? It is a dialyzing chamber where the blood will be brought to it. The blood from the patient. Say this is the patient X, and this is the impure blood, right? So impure blood will be brought to this dialyzing chamber, and this dialyzing chamber is like a cellophane structure which contains the dialyzing solution, which contains an anticoagulant substance, very important, anticoagulant substance called heparin. Okay, so this heparin protein is anticoagulant in nature. Why anticoagulant? Because as soon as the blood comes out of the body, we know that the blood has the tendency to coagulate, right? And it becomes solidified. So to prevent this solidification or to prevent coagulation of blood, heparin protein, which is present in the dialyzing solution, will keep it in its liquid form so that the filtration may occur, or so that the filtration is continued without any hindrance, or like how it gets filtered inside the kidney, right? So once it is filtered, the blood is reintroduced into the patient body, right? So the blood, so it will pass through this cellophane or through the dialyzing chamber, and the blood will be reintroduced into the patient, right? The pure blood. And on the other hand, the urine will be removed out of the body from the chamber itself, right? But one very important thing you need to remember here while reintroducing the blood into the patient's body, because we know what we have done initially, that is the heparin protein, that is the introduction of an anticoagulant substance to the blood, right? So that it does not coagulate. So if we reintroduce the blood simply into the patient's body, so it may happen that in future, if the patient suffers any injury or any cut, the blood will not stop, right? It will not coagulate. So as a result, the patient may even die out of blood loss. So to prevent this or to overcome this, during the process or in the process, before it is reintroduced, anti-heparin substance is introduced. Anti-heparin. Okay, very important in examination point of view also, because this may be asked like what process, I mean how is the process of dialysis, then you can explain about the introduction or about the use of heparin and anti-heparin. Why heparin and why anti-heparin? Heparin is to prevent from coagulation, whereas anti-heparin is to bring back the blood into its normal state. Into its normal state means the ability to coagulate or to solidify whenever there is a cut or injury, to prevent from blood loss, right? So as a result, or that is the reason why before it is reintroduced into the patient body, anti-heparin substance is introduced into the blood. So in this way it will be stabilized. So this is how dialysis is done, or this is how artificially the blood is filtered in case of kidney failure or in case of non-functioning of the kidney, right? This is about it. Apart from this, the kidney may be affected, or there may be many other disorders related to our excretory system. For example, glomerulonephritis, or when if one of the kidney does not work, then the patient may even survive with another kidney. But when both the kidneys does not function well, then dialysis can be the another option. Or even if dialysis is not working, then the last option that the patient can go for is kidney transplantation, right? So in this way, this is how excretory system is important to our body, and this is how the nephron helps in the filtration of blood, and also in case of failure of blood filtration by kidney, dialysis can be one option for the filtration of the blood, right? So with this I end my discussion. I hope this video will help you in understanding about the topic, and at the end of this video you can go for the description given in down, and also you can leave your comment so that I can improve and come with a better explanation next time. And also, if you want to continue with my videos, you can subscribe to my channel, and also you can suggest regarding my explanation and about the topic which you want me to come with my next video. Okay, so thank you so much.